Albert Ikka was an Adivasi. He was from Bihar. And till the war happened, which is something that I noticed for a lot of heroes, because I have been researching the lives of heroes, that they were perfectly ordinary people. There was nothing very special about them till that moment came in war where they had to show bravery. And that is when they rose like heroes, and they were ordinary men who performed extraordinary things. So Albert Ikka is a perfect example of that, because I spoke to his commanding officer, who was also his company commander at that time. And he told me that when he was being recruited for 14 guards, that was the unit, it was a newly formed unit. So when Albert Ikka came to him, he was not impressed at all, because he was a thin, small, dark guy. And he said the only reason I took him was because he was an Adivasi. And we know they are survivors and they know nature. So, and he said even after we took Albert Ikka, he would be the worst dressed guy in the unit. So he said he was least bothered about what he was wearing. He would just pick up a uniform of any size, wear it, his belt would be hanging. And he said so many times I ticked him off as his company commander that be smartly attired, apna uniform fit karao, usko darji se silwa lo. But he never bothered about these things. So, but when the war happened, this thing, the incident for which Albert Ikka got his PVC happened in front of his company commander's eyes. So he said, I ate my words when I saw this boy, young boy, and he said there was a medium machine gun which was operating from a railway signal post. It was a double-storied small structure across the railway line. And they could not, 14 guards was not being able to advance because the machine gun was firing constantly. And their rifles were no match for that machine gun, and they were losing men. So Albert Ikka realized that. He said, the company commander is the one who told me, and he was an eyewitness, so we know that it's correct. He said that I could see that Albert Ikka he could see him crawling through the grass towards that signal post, jahan se fire aa raha tha medium machine gun ka. So he just did not care about his own life. He was hit twice while he was crawling. He got a bullet shot in his arm and he got one in his neck. And he saw Albert Ikka wiping off the blood from his neck. Not bothering to see what had caused it, he reached that post, the railway signal post. He saw Albert Ikka climbing up. There was a metal staircase. He climbed up. He had a grenade, and there were two men inside. This they found out later. One of them was operating the machine gun, and there was another one helping him out. So Albert took a grenade from his belt, and he took off the pin with his mouth, and he threw it inside this room. And then he climbed in after that. So one of the men was killed instantly. The other guy who was operating the machine gun was unaffected, and Albert Ikka himself got splinters in his stomach. This, of course, they found out later. So he took his bayonet and he charged at the man who was at the machine gun. He killed that guy. And his company commander was watching all this. There was a window there, and he said, I kept waiting for Albert to show up on that window because the machine gun had been silenced, so they knew the deed was done. And for a long time, Albert did not come on that window. And then he said, I breathed such a sigh of relief because I saw Albert there on the window framed against the light. And he tried to climb the metal staircase down, but he fell. He had finished the job he was planning to do. He died there. So that was, I think, quite an amazing story.